everyone, welcome in. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for choosing to come back and spend part of your day with me. And if you are new, welcome. My name is Samantha and you have found my Flosstube channel, Harbor Shore Studio. I'm so happy to have you here and I hope you find a reason to stay. This is going to be my mid-May update. I am filming on Sunday, May 19th. It is a little bit past the middle of the month, but I didn't have a whole lot of stitching to show, but I was scared if I waited to the end of the month, I wasn't just gonna film at all. I realized if I don't film about every week or 2 weeks, I just kind of keep pushing it off and oh, it can wait a day, it can wait another day, and I don't want to start doing that. So here I am. A couple housekeeping things just at the very start of this video. One, I am wearing my glasses. I was out fishing with my son and husband and I think I was just in the sun a little bit too long and my contacts were really bothering my eyes. And I know especially in this frame, there is a really bad glare from my front window, which is my big bay window of my living room. I have tried angling this camera, moving, every other way, and I can't get rid of it. So I apologize if that's distracting. And also I did receive a comment, which I'm very thankful for, in my number 2 video, which was my whip parade, that the volume was low. I am gonna, in post editing, try to cancel out any of the white noise that might pop on if my AC turns on, and also turn up my volume. I am recording on an iPad with the front facing camera and no external microphone yet. I just haven't gotten it in. So if the volume does seem low, please let me know, and we'll try to just work out this whole YouTube thing. I am still playing with the idea of how I want to film and the equipment I may or may not need. I really don't want to spend a whole lot of money on extra things just because I want my money to go towards cross-stitching more than filming. And this is really just something fun for me to do, to record my projects and kind of keep a video diary of what I've been working on. But other than that, let's get started. I do have a slight update to my whip parade, and it is right here. Very exciting, right? Blank fabric. I do now have 2 pieces of this 28 count mushroom Lugana going back in my stash. I did talk a little bit about 2 projects I was considering restarting but hadn't decided yet. And it was the Dinosaur project I am doing for my son, along with the Hogwarts Express postcard from Country Magic Stitch. They were both on this fabric and I just decided I don't like it. I do use 25 count Lugana for my full coverage pieces just because there's really no other options for that. But for all my other stitching, I am pretty much going to just stick with linen. I mainly do 28 just because that's the easiest for my hands. I do suffer from some dexterity issues, and 32 count, I can see it and my hands can do it, but I just feel like my stitches look a little messy. So I normally stick to 28 count, but this fabric in particular is just really like slippy and slidey, and so it is soft. It's wonderful fabric and it's nice and thick. But in my Q snap, it just slides too much. My tension doesn't stay. So I am going to restart those. And I kind of wanted to do my son's over anyway, and this just gave me a good excuse to justify that. I am planning on doing those dinosaurs on some type of neutral fabric, probably hand-dyed. I was looking at a lot of the colors by Bestitch Me, but some of their colors from their website to where I was looking at finished projects like on Instagram and Facebook looked different. So if you have like a really pretty, more brown than yellow neutral fabric that bright colors would pop on from Bestitch Me that you like on linen, let me know what the color is and I will take a look at that. I could use some suggestions. Past that, let's do acquisitions real fast. I don't have that much to show before I get to my whips. Sorry, this is probably going to clunk around a little bit. This I bought, it's not 100% stitch related, but it is going to sit in my little stitching corner. It is just this plastic container, the top does pop off, that I found at Michael's. And the main reason I got it is I can throw my scissors in that up here, of course, but was for these 2 drawers. I've been kind of struggling with how to have my Clay by Kim's accessible, but still safe. I was just kind of like laying them out on a shelf very similar to this, and I was scared they were going to get knocked around. So what I did was put magnetic strips in the bottom of this drawer and just covered it with a cheap piece of white felt. And now they're in here. A couple of them, if I wiggle it around, kind of shift a little bit like that one. But for the most part, as long as they're in the drawer and they're flat, they stay exactly where they're meant to be and they don't cling around to each other, which I really love. So that will hopefully keep those safe. And then the other small thing that I bought, other than I did get one DMC thread while I was there that I was missing for my new start, was a new clay bikin. It's this one right here. I don't know if it's supposed to be a mum, maybe a chrysanthemum, but her flower dragons, where it's like the green body with the flower on the head, are some of my favorite. I do have a couple that are like that. And oh, I didn't show the back if you wanted to see. She always does fun backs too, which I like. They're pretty. But yeah, that was kind of what I was calling my Mother's Day present to myself. I want to say they sold a couple weeks before Mother's Day because I did get it in time. I think I got maybe all of 2 stitches in on Mother's Day, but I was able to at least pull out my new needle minder and stitch with it, which was really exciting. I have skipped the last couple drops because as much as I like them, I just don't need them all. And so I'm going to kind of, you know, save my money and maybe pick up a few more towards the end of summer and fall. The one I'm really hoping she remakes is the toadstools. I missed out on it the last 2 years, and that is probably my #1 wish list K by Klim for next time. And on to whips. So if you watched my whip parade, I think it was that video I talked about my May plans. I was planning on stitching monogamously except for one exception on a new Bella Filipina mermaid design, and I'll throw up the photo of what that one was here. And that is still pretty much my plan. I did back myself into a corner with this project a little bit, which I will explain when I show it. And also getting sick. I filmed this video about 2 times and I can't remember what I said at the beginning anymore. But I do kind of suffer from unexplained low blood sugar, which has been going on since I was a freshman in high school. And it has caused really severe migraines. I have not gone through like more than a couple days of not feeling quite well for quite a few years. I had about 10 days where my blood sugar was consistently crashing down into the 50s and a very severe migraine for about 10 days where I couldn't even drive. Thank God for my father-in-law. He was able to come pick me and my son up and take him to scouts and things like that, and was very, very helpful. But that also made it almost impossible to stitch. I did try stitching a couple of days and I would get like 2 or 3 in and just have to put it down. So I don't have a whole lot to show. But I will start with my sow, which was my one exception project. This is the Deadly Aquarium sow by Lola Crow Stitching. And that is where I'm at. I'm not too much further along than my whip parade, I believe, except for I did come down here and add all these threads to start down this side. This I'm kind of doing in a way just to keep myself from getting too bored of going down as far as I can in one color, jumping over to the one directly to the right of it, coming down and then just filling it in that way. So it's kind of the columns building up all at once. I was just scared I'd get bored doing one column all the way down, and then I only have to count hopefully once, do like 10 at a time and move on from there. Now I knew even starting this project, if I had been able to stitch, I probably wouldn't have caught up, but Lola Crow was amazing and let us know that the first part is going to be right down here. So on that'd be the right side of the pattern. Yeah, the right side of the pattern. So I am hoping to pull this out, get all of these loose threads stitched in, and then really focus getting the bottom done on that side so I can stitch the parts with everyone else. My plan for this is not 100% to keep up, but at least do the parts with everyone and start them. So even if I'm not done with part 1, I will jump to part 2 and start that when it becomes available, and then just stitch the frame in the meantime, and hopefully have a finish relatively close to when the end of the sal is. And then here is my May project. So this is Bella Filipina Mermaid. I will post the name and the picture again up here if you're curious. And if you know how to say this, please phonetically spell it out for me down there, because I'm really scared I'm going to butcher the name, so I don't even want to try. Let me grab a piece of fabric. So this is my new start, so I don't have a before picture or anything of here. But here she is. This, if you're looking at the photo, this is her hip fin with all the jewel colors in it, and then this is like her bottom and her tail going down. Here's like right where the knees would bend down, and then her fin would come down here. And I have really loved stitching on this. It has been a lot of fun, but I did back myself into a corner a little bit. I had talked about my plans on how to kind of attack this, and originally the goal was throughout the month of May to do as much of this DMC as possible, and I was hoping to get all the DMC really from the top of the tail to the bottom of the tail done. That seemed slightly realistic. But where I'm running into the issue is how much Krynic is in this pattern. Now, I don't know if this is true for all Bella Filipinas, because this is my very first one. However, if you look right here into the fin, all of this gold, except for the top row, is Krynic, and then you have all these like single stitches of the DMC colors, and it's getting to a point, unless I start filling in the Krynic, I have nowhere to tie my threads in, to where I can't run my stitches through the back and cut them off, which is why like the pink one and that are hanging down here. I'm actually done with those stitches, but I have nowhere to tie them off to unless I want to jump way up in top of the tail, and I try not to run my threads too far across the back if I can avoid it. And so that would be fine. So I grabbed the gold color I had of Krynic and started filling those in, but I only ordered 3 of, I believe, the 7 colors that are in this. So I am going to make an order hopefully tonight, 1, 2, 3 stitch for the Krynics. I was kind of waiting as long as I possibly could to see if Black Needle Society would let us know the new colors for the Frogwarts retreat, but they haven't come out yet, which is totally fine. I can be patient. But I was trying not to pay shipping twice. That's okay though. I am going to order them, but I will take some time to get those in, and May might be over, pretty much over by the time they do. So that will still be worked on, but I'm gonna probably switch to my Sal and maybe bring out one of my other whips to work on throughout the rest of May, just until that order comes in. Oh, I didn't tell you my fabric. I'm sorry. So Bella Filipina is on the called for Midnight Splendor by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, and it is 28 count linen opal. And my Deadly Aquarium is Winterbrook by Under the Sea Fabric, 28 count linen opal fabric as well. And that, I think, is pretty much all I had. Real fast, if you did comment on my last video and I haven't gone back to you, I am very sorry. I am trying to get back to comments as quick as I can with, you know, being able to see. I still am having a little bit of, you know, twinging behind my eyes to where I can't look at a screen too terribly long. And if you wanted to adopt one of my projects in my first video and I haven't responded or liked your comment, it's because I'm just making sure I'm going in order as much as I can on who commented. It got a little confusing because my notifications were behind, so I was trying to look at the timestamps because I started just agreeing to let people have things when there was only 1 or 2 comments, and then I got a lot more views and a lot more people commenting. So I will get back to everyone. If you were one of the 3 people who I asked to send me an email, your packages have already been in the mail. I got them out about mid last week, and they are on their way to you. I hope you enjoy them. If you want to show me progress, I'd love to see and continue to talk to you. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. I will probably be back within the week just to wrap up May progress in general. For filming schedule, I'm hoping to do every 2 weeks. If I don't have enough to show, maybe once a month. And until I see you next time, happy stitching.